Yo, yo, yo. Last stream I sounded a bit quiet, so let's see if I can put a bit more gain in here. So we're on 2 at the moment. Let's go up to about normal sentence. Hello, this is a normal sentence. Normal, yellow sentence. Getting into the yellow, not in the red. Okay. How's this for audio? All right, this should be a little bit more less ASMR than last week, but you'll have to let me know, to be honest. So we've put the gain up by about 10 this week. I'm turning up playing TFT. It's fine. I am fine being relegated to second monitor content. Emma, absolutely fine. I have fully embraced second monitor content. That is what we are. But yeah, especially last week when I was looking at like the recording of the voice channel, and like Leah's just naturally loud, just a loud dwarf, and then my voice was like super low, so I put the gain up dramatically. But you'll have to give me some feedback on audio levels and if it's clipping or not. Doesn't seem to be on my end, but we'll see. Hey FH, how's the job search been going? There's some weird things happening that I can't really publicly talk about right now, but it's not a good time, at least right now. So we'll see where we are by the end of the week, by next week. But yes, there's a few weird things happening, and that's all I can say for now. But we'll get something eventually, right? I believe. The power of the trunk. Hey V. Yeah, FH. EA layoffs, Jagex layoffs. God, like I can't even. Every day there's somewhere new. You know, there's like airship, not airship syndicate, the one in the UK. You know, laying off people. It's just like everywhere, right? This crap's happening. Thanks for the quality content. You're one of the best tutors. Those 300k subs. Who are we saying specifically, Foxy? That's such a specific sentence of 300k. I have to go see who's got 300k subs. I appreciate it. Thank you. We are a pretty chill, honest YouTube, right? If it gets views, cool. If it doesn't, you know, as long as there's a few hundred people getting some good knowledge out of it, I'm perfectly happy. Which is why we avoid clickbait as much as we can. Although, you know, maybe my next video I can be like, you won't believe what Unreal Engine did this week. You know, be like, no, that would be full degenerate if I did that. So we certainly won't be doing that. Needless to say. Hell no. Yeah, these things happen, right? It's places fire, places hire. It's there's not much you can do, right? You just gotta move next, unfortunately. Which is why I only look for remote offers unless the studio is within an hour's commute. I refuse to move to work because you move, you get laid off, you have to pay all this extra rent. It's like, no, that's not happening. We be remote unless you're near Derby. That's not happening. Not happening. where's my pure ref? Well, how are you guys doing? How's your Thursday going? Hopefully going well. Weekend's coming up. There's always a good time. So, 'Hey Dukes, see you again. Oh no, I have to remember in the new Unreal where everything is. Where, because we set the focal length last week. It's in here somewhere. I think it's in here. Yeah, okay, there we go. Yeah, the new Unreal UI is well, I said in the UI, but the new like things up here instead of being just up here, I do like that. I think that's pretty cool. I do think that's pretty cool. Oh, you're gonna hurt your head here, but sorry, I will say this is built for small people. All right, I've had enough of you, Leah. Right, let's just solve this right now. All right, right. Ask the stream. All right, stream. Like this, this is. Hold on, hold on. Oh no, why can't I scale you? Okay, I need to prove my point with this. Hold on. We're gonna solve this right now. Have I locked you? What have I done? Or I could represent you like that. What did I do to you to stop scaling you? What happens when you don't use Blender for a while? You might get away with this time, Leah. Blender's allowing you to. Actually, no, I remember what it was. Is that stupid thing in here? Was it? I think it was one of these, right? Aha. Okay. Now you're in trouble. Uh, let's see. Okay, so let's. Aha. Okay. 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 We're good. We're good. We're Gucci. We're Gucci. We're Gucci. We are Gucci. Right. So right, this is me. right? And this is someone I know, and this person keeps saying that I'm a tiny dwarf, but the reality is this is the height difference. So, what do we call that? Do we call that denial? I mean, what do we call this sort of angry dwarf mindset? I don't know, but yeah, this is accurate difference in our heights between me and this person. Just saying, just saying, just saying. I swear I annoy V because I still haven't gotten that add-on yet. So he has to watch me do this every time. I never said it was you. I said it was someone I know. So if you're jumping to the defense of that, that means it must be you. So yeah, just you self-reported. You played yourself. You played yourself. Um, I wonder if there's a big difference between Unreal shaders compared to Marmoset or Eevee. I don't really look Unreal. Yeah, Dread. This is a very, very classic issue of things looking different. The most popular one I have experienced is where material artists will, uh, or anyone that's doing any texturing, but they'll make it in Painter or Designer, and it will look completely different once it goes to Unreal. Even if they're trying to match the, because you can set in Painter, you can set it to use the same sort of settings, right? It's just, yeah, it's going to look different no matter what. Even if you have all the perfect settings, there's always going to be something different. Um, just because you're dealing with real time, whereas Marmoset is not really real time. It's uh, real time. It's it's the best way I can describe it. So funny story about that. I worked at a studio where we'd have these, and this is normal in a studio, right? You have these sort of art meetings uh, every week, right? Call them sort of catch ups or show your work, get some feedback from the team, and have a little bit of a laugh, sort of thing, right? Art hangouts once a week, and we would always be able to tell when someone was doing a render of the work for a level in Marmoset compared to the in-house engine we had. So we would just ban Marmoset from the studio because it would just give you fake results compared to what goes in the engine. And it's especially apparent when you use custom engines that aren't Unreal. So there is going to be a difference. Marmoset's going to give you really nice high quality for prop rendering and shader material balls. But if you're doing a level, yeah, you should be doing that in Unreal. And if you're doing a prop and putting it into Unreal, there's gonna be a difference, right? Because Marmoset is voodoo, uh, very voodoo. It's got the best baker though, best baker out of anything. Um, Indiana Jones, yeah, Indiana Jones looks great. Yeah, it does look really good. Um, right, let's not hop around like a kangaroo. Let's get this back in. Right. Check the chat in a moment. Yeah, because I had to prove the height difference, so that means I need to go back and turn that stuff off. What was that on? Okay. On the version of Unreal in the materials, it always has a specular value. Specular should remain on 0.5 for most things. if you start changing it from 0.5, it gets into very messy territory where materials will potentially not read the way they should in a physically based lit environment. We've had first-hand experience of this issue where people change the specular, and it should just be 0.5 for most things, unless there's a very, very special exception and it's been approved by material art and technical art and lighting. So, yeah. Anyway, I need to move the pivot here. I can't work and talk at the same time, apparently. I've lost my edge. I've lost my edge. No. So I need that add-on. I'm rendering characters and yeah, like I say, Marmoset is it's gonna give you the best results, but it's not necessarily a legitimate representation of real time. It's very hard for me to describe it. Otherwise, it would look the same as Unreal. So it's just a good idea just to yeah, use it for portfolio. Everyone is used to seeing it in portfolio, but if you're in a game studio, don't show your work in Marmoset if it causes just disparity issues. Always show it in the target engine with what you're doing. But that's just my opinion, right? Not fact, just opinion from my experience. Where's the add-on chief? There he is. He's on his correct username this week. I forgot which add-on it is. There's too many of them. Machine this, machine that, machine height. Just remind me in DM. Send me a DM of which one does the symmetry and mirroring very easily, and I'll grab it after stream. No, there's always going to be a difference between Substance and Unreal, Marmoset and Unreal. I don't think you can get it one to one. It's just there's always something slightly different. I've seen many sort of things that are like in studios where people want custom tools for it, and it sounds like a lot of work. So did you try RTX DI branch yet? Not yet. Maybe for my next relight. Maybe. I don't know. I need to have a think. So there's a few things up in the air at the moment for if I do another relight. I wasn't planning to do another relight for a while, but as you know, there are situations going on with getting a job where I might just use the opportunity to make a new piece. So I don't know. It could be baked, could be dynamic, could be lumen, could be restir. What is it called? Restir or something like that. I just don't know yet. In all honesty. Let's see if I can remember how to do this. So ACT. This is all in a collection. We've re-imported it before. So I think it's by collection. We'll soon see. We'll soon see. And check the chat in a minute. Just, oh, my mouse is, what's going on with my mouse? What's happening here? What did you think of the new Witcher trailer? No, you can ask. It doesn't matter if there's repeat questions. That hasn't been asked yet, so that's what these streams are all about. Connecting with you guys in the community. Yeah, I thought it was cool. It was a tech demo, so obviously you got to take it with a grain of salt, of what it could look like on a PS5 with optimization and gameplay and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, it shows some good signs. I really like the sort of nanite foliage, voxelization stuff. Thought that was really cool. Interested to see, they said something along the lines of they've halved the resource cost of Lumen. So, curious to know what that means and what they're sort of going to be doing with it. But yeah, it was cool. Looking forward to it. We're going to be watching the Summer Games Fest tomorrow in the Patreon Discord. So if you are on the Patreon, hop by the voice, grab some snacks, and we'll see some we'll see some cool games. Hopefully see some certain games as well. Fingers crossed. I really want to use Nanite for a lead. Yeah, it should be cool, man. Hell yeah, Leah. Hopefully the new voxel approach foliage makes a point. Yeah, yeah, definitely Zooks. There's like a whole thing of like, how does it work? I need to read some more of the new documentation they put out, but when I've worked on games with lots of foliage, the distance fields are a very very big issue on the leaves. So I'm curious as to what will happen with this system, which I think will be cool. So I can't right click apparently. My mouse is like constantly clicking or something. It's weird. Oh, that's definitely not what I exported. That's definitely not what I exported. That's what I exported, which means we need to double check our ACT settings because I remember this was an issue before. It's been a while, so let's try. Let's just try Alter One again. Let's get rid of that. Let's just put one in. Put put one in fresh. I was wondering, how much does someone have to pay you to work on something you morally hate or despise? I mean, what's an example? I mean, oof, that's a um, because it could be a few things, right? And with certain things, I don't have like the expertise to like know what it's usually like. So, for example, there it can yeah, it's a tough question because there's like it could be fundamentally against what you are sort of about, or it could be just something you dislike. So it depends on either one, right? So, for example, if there is so I remember in one of the studios a very long time ago, we were working on a game, and one of the levels had like you go through like a butcher's back alley, and there's all these hanging pigs, and they've been cut open and all this sort of stuff. And I know that is against that's against some some folks' beliefs and stuff like that. So in that case, the artist got swapped onto another level, and the request was perfectly understandable. And yeah, that sort of stuff is not going to be acceptable for them. So obviously you make the change. So there's stuff like that where it is something that's fundamentally against a belief or anything like that, or religion. That does happen, especially with certain games. So yep. But in terms of just like not liking something, like if it's crypto, eh, as someone that worked for a crypto company that turned out to be as much as I expected it to be, uh, if you need money in the short term, you're gonna work somewhere, right? That's basically it. I don't think the industry is in any sort of place where you can pick and choose a job at this point, sadly. So if the salary comes in, it is what it is, right? But like I said, it's a difference between beliefs and fundamental beliefs and just not liking a product, right? Keep going back to the Zora project. Usually thinking one day. Yeah, not anytime soon, Xerix. Probably like 10 years. A weapons company making drones. What? Okay. Well, yeah, like I say, that's sort of it's down to you, right? That's a very big difference to working on a game that has these things in versus if it's for real life, which I am not equipped to answer. Only if it's a game. So, but you do what you feel is right in that situation. I personally would not. That's a tough topic, though, man. That's a tough topic. Like, what if you work on a core? You're working on a game that is like has something like that in it, but it's a game. It's a tough one. These situations don't come up that much, but when they do, it's always a tough one to answer. Here you go. Okay, what's going on with the mouse? What's going on here? Or the mouse, or it's Unreal. Oh, not this crap again. I remember this with ACT before. It's gonna drive me nuts. Absolutely drive me nuts. And that's the collection. The pivot of the collection's in the middle. It's on by parent. Let's try by collection. I forgot how we fixed it last time. Okay. Here's S. Good to see you. Hope all is good. Let's try and free. Oh, no, we don't want to do that. That's scuffed. What's your opinion on Unity? I get a headache. Never use Unity. So, I'm not sure. It's got some pretty cool lighting stuff from what I've seen, but no, I don't really. I haven't really used it, but I've seen some research on the how the was it HD RHCP or whatever how that stuff works, and it seems pretty cool. But yeah. Yeah, I don't know anything about the Los Angeles other than it's extremely expensive to live in. So no easy way to render high quality fur or hair in Unreal. Alpha testing. No, I've always seen issues with hair in games, so that's a very different, much more of a technical solution, I'd say. You know what? Screw that. I don't want to get stuck on that on stream. Just we'll go into Blender for now and get the add-on for it. Yeah, that Zora demo has a few things in about hair, but I think hair is still a big issue. I mean, I don't know if you played Clair Obscur, the way the hair is like renders in that game is pretty interesting to say the least. Oh, hello. What's happened there? What up, Via? How you doing, chat? Yeah, not too bad, not too bad. How's things for you? Just got some feedback from Dynasty on my first sub-D model. How'd it go? What sort of feedback did he have? Hmm. He said I should be breaking pieces into individual parts more. I should add more density to larger areas instead of small parts. Yes, so yeah, I've been giving some sub-D feedback recently to some mentees, and if when you're making a high poly model, um, you don't need to merge it all out of one mesh, right? The more separate parts, the better. Like if it's built out of a separate part in the real world, most of the time in the high poly, you want it to be a separate part. When you do the low poly, yes, you can then go and merge it and make it a clean mesh or whatever, right? But you know, if you are doing high poly modeling, the more separate pieces you can have, the better. It's like when you it's same for ZBrush to a degree. Like if you are going to make, let's say this chair I'm blocking out, which is just a cube, but let's say this is a stone step, right? And I want another stone step and have a crack between it. Instead of just having one mesh that goes across and trying to sculpt into it, it's better to just have two polycubes next to each other with a little bit of a gap, and that's your natural crack then, and then you sculpt it and all that sort of stuff, instead of having one big block and trying to sculpt down the middle. So yeah, the more separate parts, the better, in my opinion, for high poly. Yeah, Sub D is nice. I like Sub D. Sub D is the stuff I use. Like I say, it is a sort of a, I don't want to say it's a dying art, but it's a much more older school technique for a lot of hard surface stuff now. Because, you know, CAD, Boolean workflow, Boolean to H polish, and then now it's Fusion 360 or plasticity, or you know, these things are just incredibly fast and non-destructive. And I still think Sub D is good for, like, because obviously the main benefit of Sub D is low poly that goes into smooth form. So like sofas, chairs, soft surface organics, Victorian emblems, you know, this sort of stuff is where Sub D is a lot better. Just give me one sec. I'll catch up on chat in a minute. I just want to get some stuff in place here. Okay. Right, is that okay? Oh God, look at all these things I have. How do I get rid of these? Uh, right click, default, delete. Does anyone know how I get rid of all these custom transformations I've got? I don't need most of these anymore. Right click, no. Reset, no. Delete. Yeah, someone let me know. It would be good to get rid of those. Get rid of them, you know. What do you think about real-time path tracers? Apparently that's on the RTX branch, which I want to try out. Wait, there's an X button? Am I being blind? Wait, I don't see an X button. Or is there? I might be being blind though. I think real-time path tracing. Well, Cyberpunk has it, right? I think if you play, you have to play with frame generation on. But if you turn Cyberpunk to path tracing mode with frame gen, which my buddy Goose was doing, and he's the one who told me about that. So it's in there as like a super high scalability, but I don't think you're going to see real-time path tracing as a standard for a while, right? Because a lot of devs target PS5, so yeah, I don't think you're going to be getting that on PS5 anytime soon. But always glad to be wrong. But yeah, PS5 has some super tight requirements in my experience when it comes to game art. Catch up on the chat in a second. Just give me a sec. Right now, I've got the mindset of until I can make one thing look good, there's no point in trying to make 100 things look good. Yeah, you need to get reps in. You don't want to. There's diminishing returns, right, on a project. Otherwise, I would spend all day on my relights. You don't want to turn into George Lucas, right? And going back and messing with messing with Return of the Jedi and making Jabba the Hutt slide around 20 years after he wasn't meant to. Call it a day, call it done, learn from it, move on, right? That's the way. You have to click them separately and you'll see an X button. Oh, I wish I could just hover over it and press delete. Thank you. Yeah, if you try and perfect one thing, you kind of run into like diminishing return territory where you iterate on it so much that it actively gets worse. So there's a fine line, which takes a bit of practice, but I'd probably say after like your 6th or 7th attempt of a material or something like that, you should probably start moving on onto other things. Hello, Carlos. Welcome. Nice to see you. How you doing? Things are all good. I say it depends what you're trying to do, V. If you're trying to get a job in the industry, obviously time is something you need to be aware of. But if you're just improving skills as a hobby, yeah, take as many iterations as you want. If it's for hobby or if it's for portfolio, these things also have a bit of a difference. Did you see any of the new Unreal and Witch stuff? I did, yeah. We watched it on stream. We watched it, well, not this stream. We watched it on Discord. We're going to be watching Game Summerfest tomorrow. It looks really good. Do I need to turn into one of those Unreal React people? Do a reaction video to the Witcher stuff? I don't understand half the things they showed. All I know is it looks really good. So, it is what it is. Are you doing Env lighting only for game engines or for production renders? 99% of my lighting is real time. and optimized, except for one render in the temple relight, which uses a lot of area lights. The rest are all generally optimized to run at, 60 ms. 60 ms. Can you imagine? 60 FPS, at least on a 1080p basis. Sixty ms ray trace lighting. uh, we'll see. I mean, the current limit is the current limit I've researched is 4 milliseconds for Lumen, right? So I think in that tech demo they were talking how they've halved the resource requirement or something like that of Lumen. So we need to see what that actually means. Because remember, tech demos are very, very choreographed and Homer Simpson meme territory. If you're ever wondering what I mean by Homer Simpson meme when it comes to when I talk about things, it's basically when it comes to like things that are tech demos and aren't gameplay or production renders, you've got to. Oh, these all have text on. No, I don't want text. I don't want text on them. Aha, here we go. Yeah, so when it comes to this stuff, like you can ask all these, we can always ask all these types of questions, right? But ultimately, you just have to remember a tech demo is literally this meme. Tech demo, marketing shots, E3 demos, they're always like this. So you always got to take them with a grain of salt, right? So just remember that. Until we see the game, we will not know. The concept art one's very funny as well. Have you guys seen the concept art one? The concept art one is just so good. Yeah, 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 yeah. This one as well. Two of my favorite game dev memes. My job is done here. Hey, this won't work in 3D. Peace. So yeah, these two are my favorite. What do you think of voxel odds? No idea what I think of them until I use them and get experience with them. I can only guesstimate. Looks cool, but I have no idea until a studio. I work at a studio that uses them. I can't form any sort of opinion that would be taken as advice. Speaking of memes, is anyone here old enough to know or has been in game dev long enough to remember the game Art Bullfrog? That's where I show my age. Please, somebody say yes. Somebody help me feel better about knowing about the game Art Bullfrog. Just say yes, Via. Make me feel better. Oh, you still said no. Unbelievable. Come on, there's somebody in here that knows Game Art Bullfrog. Don't make me find the lurkers. Don't make me call you out. I wouldn't do that, don't worry. Don't leave. Right, that goes down there, there. That's going to be tiles. Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Good. You can stay. It's fine. That goes there, that goes there. Only 3 blocks of wood here. I'll show you in a minute. See, don't worry. I'll guide you guys. That's it. Hold on. How do I ban? I'm gonna ban you from this stream. You're getting banned. First ban of the stream. 20 weeks in, it's going to you. You guys see what I have to put up with? Bullfrog Productions. No, not Bullfrog Productions. No. Okay. I need to address this. This is an issue right now. You guys need to learn about Game Art Bullfrog. We're switching it. We're going to meme game. I could teach a class at a university, Game Art Meme History. Defense against the memes. Right, hold on. I need to fix this area first because I have OCD. But then we're going. We're going. Right, okay, hold on. Right, okay. Right, okay. Right. Class is beginning. All right. Oh, my webcam's so laggy. Is it laggy on stream as well? Or is it just OBS? PC is very weird. Very weird behavior, PC. Right, let me get into teaching mode. Let me get into teaching mode. Okay. Right. All right, class. Welcome. Let's see. Welcome to Game Dev Meme History with me. Yeah, I don't know why I'm laggy. I don't know if it's my webcam. Happens sometimes, which is interesting. Right, so back in the day, in between 2020, 2008, and 2012, maybe up to 2014, when students were learning back in the day, there was a meme website. Yes, memes did exist in 2008, 9, and 10. Thank you very much. And there was this classical website called Game Art Student Bullfrog. And it was this, no one knows who ran the site or anything like that. But, we thought it was a cabal of games industry professionals that were pointing out very common trends in game art education or games industry, or how people, act when they're trying to get into game dev back in these days. So, Game Art Bullfrog is a series of images of this bullfrog, this little chonker. No, it is not me. So you can stop right there. We look nothing alike. So this chonker here, with this sort of gradient background, and then the text is a meme that reflects what was popular at that time. So, for example, in this very first image, we can see here that this meme is making fun of people who use a single Mac script and now consider themselves a technical artist. So there's all these hundreds and hundreds of them where they point out very sort of meme malicious things in the games industry. So let's look at some of them. Needs more detail. Bevel everything. A lot of these are going to still be true today. Asks to brainstorm ideas. Google's good ideas. Can't bathe now. Too busy explaining how talented I am. Makes basic Flash game, is now a programmer. So, these are things that were very common at the time. This one we're skipping by. We don't want to get cancelled on stream. Loves playing video games. Game dev must be their calling, So, yeah, this is basically what Game Art Bullfrog was, which I'm surprised it's still up to this day. But yeah, very, very common in those days. So yes, memes have been there since the start of time. ZBrush is a complete package. Why? So this is the thought process of, people or developers back in those days. So it's fun to see like how much of this is either false or true, 15 years later. This one's very true. Wants to be concept artist, draws anime only. That's still a thing. I'm sorry, but that is still a thing. This is still a thing. Games 40 hours a week, homework 1 hour a week. That's what Leah does. It's not a bug, it's a feature. This one's very common. This is me. This one calls me out. Learn to draw, but I'm a 3D artist. So, yeah, if you type in Game Art Bullfrog on Google, you'll get those up. Class over. Homework, go find me your favorite Bullfrog memes. And I'll see you guys next week's class. There we go. Teaching mode off. So yeah. Bit of history for you. Next week, we'll look at what environment art looked like in 2018, 2008, 2009. And it was hailed as great environment art, which still is, but it's funny to see a 15-year gap of where these things are different. So maybe we'll look at that next stream. That's what you come here for, to learn some very useful and valuable information about game dev. Bullfrog's secret website. I became a 3D artist to avoid 2D. Same. I have no 2D ability to save my life. None at all. You see a trailer for Sword of the Sea? No. What is Sword of the Sea? What is it? Oh, I never played Journey. Action adventure by. Oh, okay, cool. Cool, cool. Sounds good. Yeah, I do want to try it at some point when time allows. Even in 2 hours, just get a good 2 hours out of it, sort of thing. Does Blender 4.3 still have poor FBX compatibility? I have no idea. I've been able to use FBXs fine on it. Is it? I'm gonna butcher your name, so sorry. But hi, Michal. Yes, thank you for letting me know. I read about that virus. Thankfully, I only open Blender for 1 hour and a half a week on stream, and it's the same file pretty much. So I think we're gonna be good on that one. But thank you. Yeah, it's weird. It's kind of crazy that a blend file can cause a virus. Mike, cool, cool. Yeah, cheers, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it's going to take a while, I think, but that's no pressure. 1 hour and a half a week in Blender for the most part on this, so we should have some significant process progress over time. But yes, Blender becomes more and more comfortable uh, every month. So still rough around the edges, but much better than where we were at the start of the year. What is this? Is this the actual modular piece? No. What? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, cloud. No, that's a side. That's side. Yes. Well, I used Maya for like 12 years, and then I went into lighting and didn't touch a 3D program for 2 years. But yes, coming from Maya, ultimately, I would say. I need to check this in Unreal actually. Ignore the file name of my scene. That was an accident. Typo. Ah, nice view. Yeah, cool. Yes, in a few weeks I will be once we kind of get the block out to a level 2 standard, we will be focusing on learning designer for the rest of the year. So just make sure we have a nice clean block out with some good textual density and all that jazz. Yeah, so what are you? Wood wall panels, wood wall wood panels A. I did I lose my bottom floor? Probably. I might have lost it by mistake. Oh, this is probably it actually. One, two, three, four. One, two. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's the wall. All right. No, okay, we didn't lose it. We didn't lose it. Okay, cool, cool. Okay, if that's the wall, that is in the corner, which means let's put it in first. But yeah, it means it needs to be a bit longer. I dropped Blender 6 years ago, switched to Maya. Yeah, I always delete history in Maya. Or I always muscle memory delete non-deformer history every sort of 5 minutes in Maya. Otherwise, it's Maya is not built to use history, unlike Max and modifiers. So you want to be deleting history often, but non-deformer. Don't delete deformer history. That can be pretty painful. I have ACT at the moment, Mike, which has been pretty good. I just need to remember how to use it with collections because I've been using it for single meshes. But the ACT pretty much does it with a single click for the most part, so it's been pretty nice. The only add-on I got a grid add-on as well, so I can shift up the grid, shift down the grid, and I need to grab machine tools before V hurts me because he hates it when I move the pivot. It takes me like 5 minutes. So I'll grab machine tools or whatever it's called to do symmetry and all that sort of stuff easier, and then yeah. No, I'm sorry, V. Don't hurt me. I didn't mean it. I did not mean it, V. I'm sorry. Yeah, I do like some of the stuff Machine Tools has, though, to be honest. So I'm sure there'll be a lot more, helpful stuff when we're moving this stuff around. Yeah, plus a lot of the Blender plugins have a, what's it called, MPR or MPL license, so you can use them commercially. Yeah, I have UV Packmaster. I think I have Zen UV. We were kind of chatting about what some good add-ons in the Discord. Okay, yeah, we can be a bit wider, which will help create a bit more room for this character. Now I look at it, yeah, for sure, for sure. Hey, Zerix. Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, I like the quick menu on Blender. It's pretty nice. Hope Blender receives update for overall viewport. That's the one thing I do miss about Maya. Maya's viewport, the anti-aliasing, SSAO, even how the lighting looked was is just unparalleled. Especially Max. Max's viewport is awful. It's probably the worst one I've seen. For animators, Maya have multi-thread support. Yeah, I always him. Maya's a really good one for animation. Why are those walls triangulated? Because they came from Unreal. So I exported these in back into Blender to use as a template. So this will eventually get deleted. So I'm using it as a template. Yeah, ZBrush can handle millions of points, right? So it's gonna have something going on there. Catch up on the chat. It's kind of true. I'm just giving my tech out stuff. Depends what you would use it for. You know, obviously, because this is not. Man, my cam is really laggy. That's crazy. No idea. Because this scene is now deconstructed in Blender. You know, I could just keep the original pieces, but sometimes it's easier, especially if you're in a game, a big game, to just grab some stuff from the engine, use it as a template, right? When you have to make something for a part of an environment. So it's just my preference to do it that way, at least for this piece anyway. I've not used Django FX, heard of it though. Out of every free software in Blender so far as Multivulcan. Cool. Sounds good. 10 FPS webcam. What I notice about seniors, they work nice and slow. I'd be building stuff. Yeah. It's like that meme on YouTube, the Mr. Incredibles. It's like the juniors like doing all this crazy stuff and like tapping away at the keyboard, and then the senior just like, blah, yeah, nice and chill because they've been through the ringer. Oh crap! Didn't realize the time, which means it's Patreon time. Yeah, it's almost level 1, and then we can do the front door next week, which we've already done most of. Right. Let's hop into the Patreon public call. Dude, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at him. He's already in there. Look at this guy. Unbelievable. Right, let's unmute the PC audio. Yeah, my cam is super laggy. Unfortunate. Oh, are we back to normal? I turned off buffering and maybe we're back to normal. Let's turn desktop audio on. Load up your Miro and then I'll hop into the voice. There it is. He's already put the meme on. That's amazing. Dude, that meme. Oh, wait, hold on. Dude, that meme is hilarious. Oh, wait, no, I can't hear you. Hold on. Let me change my. I say something?
Can you hear me? Mic check, mic check.
I don't know how well the stream will hear you because I don't have my headset today. So
Oh, okay.
you might be okay.
You can
though.
hear me, right?
You're going towards yellow, so I think you'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can see your audio going up. Cool.
Gotcha.
Dude, this meme doesn't need to know any art history. Strictly sci-fi artist.
Yeah.
Well, we've had a chat about your project a bunch, so we'll use this more of like a public check-in. So, do you want to let people know what you've been doing? Obviously, I think you've had uh, a big improvement based on some feedback Mark gave you. Mark is our
Yeah,
resident
of course.
superstar environment artist. So, yeah, let us know where you were before, where you are now, what's changed, why, who, what, where, all that jazz.
Yeah, so my project revolves around making a cyberpunk street view, obviously. And so for the past few weeks, I've been working on this ramen shop, which will be a part of which will be a part of like a street side asset. So that's what I've been working on.
Yeah,
And for the last 2 weeks, I was working on its materials, figuring out the wood material, the metal, and the tile material for the insides. But
yeah. I'm
last week,
following. I'm
I
following you, by the way, on Miro as a pilot. So wherever you go, the stream sees. So just let you know.
oh, okay, okay. So yeah, as you can see here in the week 10, I did like change some values regarding the roughness of my metal, wood, and the tiles for the shop. And for this week over here, I made a trim sheet. I decided that actually Mark gave me feedback that like you need to like up your game based on based on your material because you need to add those secondary details which is missing. So that's when I decided to like do a trim sheet.
Hmm.
And yeah, it turns out to I mean I think that it turned out great given that how the material looks.
Yep. And do you have a before after next to each other you can show?
Yes, it's over here. These ones. So this is how what my shop looked like before. As you can see, like although I did some word painting over here, still it still was missing that like those secondary details that like came out really well with the trim sheets. My trim sheets are also using the parallax occlusion mapping to bring out the details in it. So yeah, that's what I've been doing.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna take my mirror back. Uh, yeah. I say looks very big dramatic improvement in what you had here, and then sort of what you had here with like the little sci-fi gubbins on and stuff like that. Obviously, we've had a chat either yesterday or today. I think it was yesterday. We had a chat that you're going to be
Oh,
obviously
curvature.
uh, taking some pots out of this trim sheet and re-adding it back as a vert paint, like stuff like these
Yes.
splodges. Which oh yeah, I forgot how big your mirror is. Hold on. Oh my god, even the biggest brush doesn't even do your thing, dude. Oh, let's
Uh, can you
there we go.
repeat?
This is the thickest brush. So yeah, stuff like
Okay.
this.
Mm.
So obviously we remove that from the trim and put it back in. Otherwise, it's going to repeat every half a trim
Yes.
sheet. It's going to repeat,
Mm.
and you're going to put some rust in off the curvature and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we've
Yeah.
already had a chat about this one, which is good. But
Mm.
yeah,
And
it's a
I've already
dramatic
made an
improvement, which is
RGB
good.
mask, so it's already in the process. I didn't post it here yet because like I haven't completed it. So
Yeah, just be careful of the wood because you can see the same
oh,
two.
those repeating
Looks
pattern.
like those
Yeah.
old school faces. You know when everyone, you might be too young to remember this. Everyone used to do this, right? In chat. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It looks like that.
No,
So
yeah.
you just need to. It's a cool piece of grain. So maybe you could figure out a way to
Yeah.
get that back somehow. But yeah, obviously, kind of you see it a bit.
The wood is also like missing that word paint which I had earlier on. I was more focused on the trim sheet, so I didn't get enough time to like do the word painting on the wood. So like
Yeah.
yeah, the solution is already there. So but I just didn't implement it yet. Um,
Yeah, it's cool. When you get to the top bit here, I don't know what type of trim sheet. Actually, look at it. If you have a bit for your trim up the top
yes, I do.
here,
Wait, let me post it.
but yeah,
So
you probably want to have some sort of channel for the top bit of oil spills and where they've been dropping the cooking oil to get some high reflection, near black type of reflection, or like 0.2 or whatever, right?
mhm,
Yeah. So you probably
okay.
you probably want something weird going on here, but some sort of vert channel that puts in a little bit
Yes.
more of medium detail. You might need something on the edges as well, maybe maybe put in a see what it looks like if you put in a sort of an edge loop, like because not straight. Uh, put in like an edge loop, right? Just like here, and
Yeah, I just
maybe
had a
put a
chat with
panel
Mark,
line there.
and yeah, Mark said that right now what's missing is like adding those negative space in between those borders to like better distinguish the trim sheet. Because right now, like there is just a sudden blend from metal to wood, which shouldn't be happening. So
Yeah,
I could add like a negative space over here.
yeah. You need something on the front. Yeah, something on the front as well. And have a look at some reference of hibachis. I think they call them. And see
Yes.
what's on top of the surface. And it's just got to be about reference. Putting parts of the reference in that you can be inspired by. I think they're called hibachis. Yes, they are
Yeah, the Hibachi shop, right? Yeah.
for the material as well. There's some weird stuff going on here. There's like some super dark bits and some weird dark dirt bits on the corner. So you just need to have a look at that.
Yeah, it's part. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's again like it's part of the trim sheet, so I'll be adding that in the mask rather than.
Like in this one, they have
Uh,
like it kind of dips down and then goes in, and it has like some more metal edging on. So yeah, there'll be a bunch of reference you'll be able to find
mhm.
of like what is going on with the edges of these hibachis.
Yes.
Look at this guy chilling. Yeah, there's like seems to be like maybe a double edging to protect his hands where he's like I don't know like gonna where he's gonna cook.
Mm.
Um, yeah, they all seem to drop down. Oh, this has like a cool little panel detail as well, which you could probably do with a
Yeah.
strip of geo if you're going like the Star Citizen way. So yeah, there's always things you can do to add breakup. So I think yeah, the top needs just grab some reference and let's make the top of this have a bit more medium detail
Elevation.
with
Yeah.
stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, I think that and then some oil spills and stuff on the top and but yeah, looking much better.
Mhm.
Much better overall, which is good.
Yeah.
How's it look with like the chairs and everything in front of it? Have you done a shot like that yet, or?
I have not. Cause I need to like rebuild that part again. So,
Mm,
um, yeah, I have to make the other parts of the shop modular. So that's
yeah,
something which is remaining.
like I say this trim sheet will be usable in so many other places. Like for example, you could have like a step at the bottom.
Exactly.
There's so much you can just do from this. So yeah, good job. That's my main feedback. Reference for the top, add a little panel detail, transition. Don't make it too dirty at the top, and then try and match the quality that you've got at the front. And yeah, it'll be good.
Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
But that's what it's all about. Ref, and apply. Ref and apply. But yeah, we've already
Yeah.
spoke about how you're gonna use the RGB channels to add some variation to this. So yeah, oh, cool man,
So
cool. You got
I
any
think
questions?
the RGB channels, okay, so based on what details I already have for the dirt over in the trim sheet, I can just transfer that to the mask, right?
Yeah, whatever we do. I know for one of them we want to use the curvature map to add some edge wear,
Mm-hmm.
and the other two up
Yes.
to you. Maybe this here, right? Maybe
Yeah.
this is part of the blue channel.
Mm.
You know, these little pieces of noise.
Okay.
Because you got to remember, like, it's going to repeat a lot. I can already see it
Yep.
repeating. Like, so any unique detail needs to kind of go out,
Mm-hmm.
and then put in. Because when you put it back in, you can obviously paint it out based off the
Yes.
mask. So then you can get your variations. So,
Yes.
but yeah, that'll be easy to do, and you just keep it as pure base metal steel.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I already did that, like with the other version of the ramen shop. So
mhm.
yeah, the shader is already there. I just need to like plug the trim sheets now.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But cool. Yeah, good stuff, man. Just let's get the top bit done, get those RGBs refined out, and then start just working on the rest of the shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully, this would be the final iteration for the ramen shop, at least in terms of modeling.
Yeah, for sure. I think so. Like I say, just get lots of little props. Yeah, get the props on, and I guess now you probably won't be able to do that, right? I'm thinking about you've got all these cups and stuff on here, but that doesn't really make any sense because
Yeah.
yeah, now I think about it, you gotta think of like how are they gonna eat? Because if they
Yes.
eat on here, they're gonna burn themselves. So you gotta like think of like at the moment now I look
Yeah,
at this
Mark showed me
reference,
some
this doesn't
really
doesn't make
interesting
much
design
sense actually. Yeah.
as he was modeling in Max, where he showed me that like you can add like little insets on those tabletops where they would like store their knives or like chopsticks, whatever. That way you'll add that layer of storytelling. So yeah, that is like the next step for the shop.
Yeah, I think just get some reference of like I don't know ramen stores or how they eat on the edges. Like you can see they have.
Yeah.
It's going to be some type of wood surface. They're not going to eat on a metal surface, otherwise they're going to get burnt. So
Mm.
just make sure you
Yeah, I
think of
mean
the
I
world
can add
building that
like
way.
mats and stuff on top.
Even mats, you're still going to get burnt, right? If you have mats on here, like this is a big metal surface where the guy's cooking on it, right? I assume he's cooking
Mhm.
on it. So yeah, but as long as you think of those things, you should be good. But yeah, reference. Always back it up with reference. But
Yes.
now I'm hungry looking at all these. But cool, man. Good stuff. Like I said, the more trims you make, the more flexible it is. You can just put edge loops in and cut them in and all that
Mhm.
sort of stuff. But yeah, have a think about what you're doing for the top table. Is it just the surface they're going to eat on, or is it where they cook on it? If it's a surface, make sure there's some places they can put their stuff there where the heat isn't going to, you know, distribute for all this metal and burn them and all that sort of stuff. That world building stuff,
Uh,
basically.
yeah.
Cool, man.
Okay.
Good stuff. Any questions?
Uh, no, not really. I mean, those questions have already been answered. So, yeah. Thanks for the feedback.
No worries. All good. And I know you're doing some stuff with
All
Mark on
right.
here, which will be cool. So yeah, keep it up. And
Yeah, I just saw Mark. Yeah. Okay. Post.
shout
Okay.
out to Mark, the wizard.
Exactly. The goat.
Yeah, cool, man. Good stuff. I'll see you around on the voice.
Bye bye.
Mm. All right, guys. Obviously, no one else is coming in, so that's gonna be
What?
the stream today. Like, thanks V for showing his work. Much appreciated.
Unbelievable.
No one
Guys,
else
I'm paying money for.
no one else is in here.
What?
Oh, hello. Where did you come from?
Jesus Christ.
How are we doing? How are we doing?
Doing good, doing good. Second week of Houdini.
Ugh, Houdini. Ugh. Oh, let's look at some Houdini, I guess.
Yeah, let's do it.
See, even Mark agrees. Even Mark agrees. You should be bullied.
Bully her. Mark, how dare you?
Cool. I'll pilot to your mirror, so if you want to show people... Oh my god. What have you done? You know what? Now I am going to ban you.
It's the truth. It's the truth. Unbelievable.
There we go. Aren't you meant to have a painting background? Like, I can't see this painting fundamentals in the way you've cropped these images on my face. All right, I'm going to click you, which means you can take us around. Yeah, so what have you been doing? What have you been learning? I know Fabio's been showing you some really cool stuff, and you've been implementing some cool stuff. But yeah, take us through it.
Yeah, okay. So basically, okay, let's see. Here in the last week, of course, like I've been starting Houdini, right? Had a breakdown, bon appetit. And this week I've been basically, refining one of my HDAs, which is basically, like a tool. You build a tool in Houdini and then you can procedurally use it in Unreal Engine,
Yeah,
which
okay,
is
cool.
very, very cool. Right. So I've been doing that. That was from last week, and today I've been basically adding some more fidelity to it. Basically. So one thing is here this brick wall, where you can have like this destruction, and also vertex masks, red, green, and blue channels, which translate nicely.
Okay, yeah, cool.
Yeah. The main focus is not the textures yet, right? But yeah, just the tool itself. So that has been happening, and yesterday you also told me that I should do like a rope tool, right? So I thought it was a good idea, and yeah, basically today I did it.
Oh, you did it
Made a
already?
bunch of-
How was it? Was it as
Yeah.
scary as you thought it would be after looking at that stuff?
No. Like after my wall, that was easy. That was so easy. Yeah. Did a bunch of adjustments basically to it. Like I watched a tutorial and I added some things to it. So the same kind of logic where you basically have the RGB channels to also be able to add different textures to it, right? Yeah.
Are
And
these two
now I'm
videos
able
you want
to.
me to click on?
Mhm.
Yeah?
Oh yes, exactly. Yeah.
I'm
Please
going to
do.
click this one, and then I'll click this one. Okay, so this is you're putting your brick tool in, and you're showing off the settings it does.
Yeah, exactly. I think the first video is about how everything looks in Houdini. I think.
Yeah, you've gone to Houdini. You're changing some parameters. Now you're vert painting in where the damage is going to appear. You go back to Unreal. And there we go. So you're painting in, and your tool lets you paint in, and then it will damage the mesh, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, just watching you paint in at the moment. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Like the functionality's there, right? So it's like when you do any improvements to the texture or the brick damage or whatever goes into these RGBs, like the underlying functionality is there. Because yeah, like Mark says, it's mainly the blue, right? The blue looks a bit Splatoon like. Even with the concrete texture on, it's very it's kind of like, but I know you're going to refine that, so
Yeah, exactly.
But the functionality's there. You can paint away and damage it, and you can get any variation you want. Go into your gameplay video now.
Yeah. Oh wait, but it's huh? I think it's the same video of a harbor level week 23.
I've not seen this
Um,
video before.
yeah, okay, yeah. I thought I uploaded a different one. Yeah, but it's basically the same thing, but just in just more Houdini focused, right? But that one video just gives you a good idea on how, yeah, things basically work.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, okay. Yeah, so just kind of like the way the brick reads at the moment. It's just the, it's the whatever this stuff is.
The
You
blue
just need
channel.
to just refine it with oh, you actually have it here. Yeah, basically
Yeah.
obviously you do a bit more to the brick to break it up, but these things here, like,
Yeah.
they just kind of come out of the brick. It's like an alien sort of thing, right? So now you've got the functionality of the tool, which is amazing, really awesome. You just need to look at some reference of like what you want to achieve. Like, you want to achieve a brick that can be destroyed, but then on the surface of the brick you want, whatever these are, and how pieces of plaster and how they're meant
Yeah.
to look, and how they're
Exactly.
falling off as well.
Yeah. I want to capture the likeness of like in the I guess far future or near future. I want to be able to capture the likeness of like structures, like for example from this castle wall. So my idea with a glue channel was to create like this kind of overlaying plaster that is happening in some areas, right? Like stones are popping out, but then there are stones that, for example, get more submerged by this plaster, right? So that will be the or like this, for example, here from the Dawnwalker concept, where they have like this beautiful patch where it's just areas that are more have more of a plaster mask, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I
So.
still I still personally think that this type of blending is done better with shaders than actual
Mhm.
geometry.
Yeah. Gotcha.
So yeah, I don't think it would be I just think it would be way more flexible from a world building perspective if your tool did the damage, but because you're trying to do like this, you're trying to do like a blend on the brick
Mhm.
surface. That to me is better done in shaders and masks
Mhm.
and vertex painting.
Yeah.
Whereas the tool, I think, can be good for this, right? When you cut away and then you have the new texture here,
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
think the tool's good for that. But I think the
Yeah.
tool is probably, it's actually going to be less powerful personally than doing vertex painting with or nanite vertex painting between plaster and stone.
Mhm.
And like you could do like even a 6-way blend between this whole stone, right? And just paint it
Mhm.
in.
Yeah.
So I don't think this, I personally don't think this is, I would scrap this bit of the tool personally. I think you would
Mhm.
achieve this better and at a higher quality with Unreal.
Gotcha.
But I would keep obviously the destruction and it generating the masks on the edges.
Mm-mm. Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah.
yeah, don't try and do everything with it, Houdini. Because I know you're in like Houdini world and you're like, you want to do all the things, but yeah, mix and match. Because Unreal will do
Mhm.
this bit I'm talking about here. Unreal will do this better than Houdini
Yeah,
because it's
gotcha.
shaders. Then it's not geometry. So, but that's my opinion. You can do what you want with it, but I would personally go that route. Do you have a
Mhm.
video or anything of the rope tool in action?
I don't have it yet because I just implemented it today, but I definitely plan to add some more ropes to a bunch of wood. So that's why next week you're definitely gonna see the rope tool in action.
Yeah, it would be really cool to see you using the rope tool on on like the all the bits you've got of the other assets and just showing how easy it is to apply the rope tool. I think that'll be cool because you got a lot of rope in your scene, so the fact that you don't have to make splines and try and extrude it across all the stuff in Blender is going to be really cool. So
Yeah, absolutely.
but
Yeah,
yeah, no,
absolutely,
really,
absolutely.
it's kind of crazy good Houdini progression considering you started using it 2 weeks ago. So it's very, very fast progression on that.
Nice.
But yes, I
Yeah.
think my main feedback is don't get lost in the Houdini sauce. Know when to mix up Houdini, like the rope perfect, destroying the brick perfect. But the plaster on the bricks, I'd be like, no, let's do that with shaders. Like just as V says, height lerp or nanite, and it's going to look even better because it's going to be based on texture. So
Yeah.
but
No, that sounds good. Yeah.
yeah, no, the rest of this is awesome. Like it's just really cool that you're building all these functional Houdini tools. Like the rope tool is perfect. So yes, obviously when you come back to the docks, let's make sure we do the same thing with the docks in terms of like the moss is height lerp vertex painted on. I don't try and do it in Houdini, but then you can do, maybe the dock. Maybe in Houdini you make it so it can give you Houdini stuff. Maybe for like you have one section in Houdini, right? And you just pull it out and it does the rest of the docks. So again, that would be a great Houdini tool. But
That would
doing
be
the moss
amazing.
with Houdini, I don't think so. I think Unreal shaders is going to be better for you.
Yeah, gotcha.
But that could be cool. If you can just say, here's a plank, here's a vertical plank, here's a buoy, and you pull out a bounding box or whatever, and it makes the docks.
Oh, that would be amazing.
I think
yeah.
we could probably go for that. And then, like say, you're not doing the rest of the environment now, you're just doing the dock grid. So maybe that can be the next thing you do.
Yeah.
But it's up to you.
Yeah,
You already have the docks in place, so you don't have to do that. It's just like if you wanted to Houdinify most of your docks and then use the shader side of Unreal to do the surface materials, it would be a really good combination.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Like I at some point again, like I want to be so good that I can, let's say, do the tower completely in Houdini, right? That would be amazing. Yeah. Except for shaders, right? Yeah, as we talked.
Yeah. Shaders, I
Yeah.
think Unreal's just gonna the vert paint, height lerp, with it being nanite, you're just gonna get a better result.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna ask V for info and feedback. I think V is starting to become our material and shader guy.
There he is. Not only does he provide the best cat memes and gifs and fall asleep all the time on the voice channel, he's also becoming the material god now. It will be interesting for you to do a shader because how are these bricks being textured? Like, is it just geometry with a tiling texture on, or is this actually a brick tiling texture? Because it comes from Houdini, which means it's probably not a tiling texture, it's actual geometry with a concrete on.
Yeah, exactly. It's actual geometry, and then I use a tiling texture through Unreal Engine. Yeah, but
That's
I
going to
do
be
know that
interesting for, yeah. Be
I know
interesting to
that
see how
there
you
are.
do that. Yeah.
Sorry, go on.
It's going to be interesting to see how you do that because usually there's a brick tiling texture and that's what you use the mask for to get the grout and the brick to do the height lerp. So it's going to be interesting for you to, because there is no brick texture. It's just a concrete texture on a bunch of polycubes essentially. So it'll be interesting to see in context how you get your height lerp to adhere to the grout in your bricks and all that sort of stuff. So that's that will be an interesting one to see how you do that.
Yeah. Yeah, we shall see. Yeah, for sure. It's like I do know that there are Houdini meshes out there, for example, who are just a flat plane, and then there are in certain areas bricks that are popped out, right? For that I guess visual geometry breakup.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. But yeah, no,
Yeah,
good
yeah,
stuff. It's very advanced stuff as well. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with this. So this should be the caller.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
No, but cool. No, really good stuff. Like I say, the Houdini stuff is just wizardry to me. So I think Fabio has done a great job as well, because Fabio's a Houdini wizard. So
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
and you've done a good job as well, because you've made all these. You've followed tutorials, but you've mixed them all together to make your own thing. So that's really cool. Well, yeah, good stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, we'll catch up on chat more as well. But yeah, good stuff. Keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you. All right.
Now get
See
out.
ya. Bye bye.
Go on, shoot. Cool. Looks like that's probably going to be it, because we are at 10 o'clock anyway. So shout out to all you folks coming in for the community regulars. Again, I will plug the Patreon Discord. We have a master talk coming up from a really awesome chap from CD Projekt Red at the end of the month. Patreon Discord only. You know, join the community, get some feedback, get official feedback once a week, and get one Patreon video a month. And there's currently about 6 or 7 already on there. So if that interests you, check it out. I'm going to go get some food. Nice seeing you